and no pressure in there because I know my own. I will tell organizer, put this air filter. It's very important too. You can let your mechanic teach you how to check that, because the work of air filter is that it accumulates dust that's supposed to spoil the engine. So, and at a point, the air filter becomes full that you need to discharge those dust. If you don't do them, it poses risks to your engine. So all those things are very important. The risk of failing to maintain your vehicle, of course, I've mentioned that. As mentioned earlier, failure to carry out regular maintenance on your vehicle can lead to more severe problems in the future. Certain mechanical failures can occur that will leave great expense to fix without proper vehicle maintenance. Some of the most expensive issues that can occur as a result of not maintaining your vehicle can be: one, if you fail to maintain your vehicle, there are some things that will come. You don't check your water level and you pick your vehicle. There could be overheating and your gasket got burnt. Your cylinder will fail, and that will cost you a lot of money to fix. Now, I don't want to spend too much on this. I have a table on implication of poor or no maintenance of a car. Please help me project that, and let's do simple analysis. We have the table cost and the possible cost you 15 naira. I'm just putting there to check your engine level in the morning. Of course, it costs you almost nothing. It costs you just maybe your time to check the engine oil in the morning, or to check your water level in the morning. Look at that. I just put 15 naira. Of course, I know it doesn't cost you anything other than your time. Now, what is the probable consequence of not carrying out that task? What will happen is that when there's no more engine oil in your car, the engine knocks, and that could cost you, let's say 25,000 naira plus to buy the engine. Of course, I know it's more than that. Some engines can be as high as 1.2 million naira, some as high as 600,000, some as high as 200,000, depending on the type of car you are using. So, which could have used almost nothing to salvage that situation. Changing of engine oil, the same thing. Checking of coolant, the same thing. Checking of braking system. You don't check your brake system, you don't check your fluid, and you are driving the big field. What could happen? There could be written, or there could be accident, and which could lead to injury or even death. The same with checking of brake fluid. So those are the things. That's how important it is to be very clever when we are talking of car maintenance, because this is like our life. Because we stay so much on the road, we use this vehicle, we depend on this vehicle so much. So we have to be very, very careful, and I pray that Lord help us in Jesus' name. Now, because of our time, the second part of our lecture today says discipline behind the wheel. Disciplines behind the wheel. I want us to pay much attention here. Knowing the clutch from the brake pedal doesn't necessarily make you a good driver. It is a skill that demands constant honing and polishing, and it has a lot more to do with character and personality than one would think. It is important to pay attention to these three vital qualities that is expected of any disciplined driver, especially when behind the wheel. And I put them under three categories: attitude, skill, and knowledge. Attitude, skill, and knowledge. I will dwell so much on attitude because I know it's the most important thing. To me, it's not even the skill, but the attitude. Our attitude is the most important one. And I want us to see this. If you don't have the right attitude, it won't matter how much knowledge or skill you have. You won't be a consistently good driver. The aim one is to, then what I'm saying here is this: how do you relate when you are behind the wheel? Very important. You see, to me, sometimes I begin to see that it's as if when you are behind the wheel, there's a spirit that comes to you that changes your personality somehow. Now, when I was young, very young, I was in the vehicle with my father, and he was driving, and something happened, and things that I've never heard from him started coming out in the vehicle. I was like, is this not my father? Abusing someone or causing someone in the vehicle? I begin to wonder, is it that this wheel has kind of spirit that comes on people when they're behind the wheel? So our attitude, I said, by the same token, drivers who are Okay, I said the way you relate with others, one, your emotional stability, your mental stability, all these things come to play when you are behind the wheel. Because those ones inform the way you relate with other road users. He said, linked to this is the realization that there is always something to learn. Nobody is perfect. So learn from your own mistakes and from the other mistakes of others. Being courteous to other road users is also very important. That means coexisting with all other road users, including motorcyclists, bicyclists, and pedestrians. Getting agitated, impatient, and angry can have disastrous consequences. Something happened during these protests in the road. What initiated it was that the vehicle knocked down one motorcyclist, and the guy died. And that informed a lot of reactions from other, motorcyclists, and they burnt down the vehicle. Look at that. Now, that's attitudinal problem. The person in the vehicle was so careless that he knocked down the vehicle because you are, the Lord help us in Jesus' name. Now, because of our time, skill. A driver, you see, skills, what I just described here, other skills that's very important is that when I want to look at, a driver, and I want to access him, what I will look for is, one, the way you start your engine, the way you move, the way you accelerate, the way you react to sudden incidents that comes around you, the way you match your brake, the way you move, your calmness. Those informs your skill. And this comes with time. It comes with time and conscious effort. It comes with time and conscious effort. I pray the Lord help us in Jesus' name. Knowledge is defined as what is learned, understood, or what you are aware of. As a driver, and my expectation is that you are aware of the condition of your vehicle. You are aware about your own condition, your own ability, your mental ability, your emotional ability. All these things are very important. Now, you have to know the condition of your vehicle. Vehicles diverse. So don't use that, I know this, just jump into a vehicle and begin to drive. You must be aware of all this. And when you are driving, you must be aware of things that goes around you. The children placed on the verge of the road, their pedestrian crossing and all that. All those things that are happening, you have to be aware. You can see they will put bombs at 40 meters ahead. You have to be, all the informations are for you. You have to be aware. You don't just bump into a bomb and match brake immediately. No. As a driver, you have to be knowledgeable in all these areas. Driving etiquette. Driving etiquette relates to the general courtesy rules which communities expect the operators of vehicles to follow while driving. Good driving etiquette typically involves being courteous and staying alert, which varies by vehicle situations and locations. Now, we have this case study. While driving, you scrape the fender or inflict minor damage to a parked car without its owner present. As a courteous driver, what will you do? What will you do? What will you do? The owner is not there, and you had an accident with a car, you had a collision with a car that is parked. What will you do as a Christian? Now, let me quickly read this. When a courteous driver scrapes the fender or inflicts minor damage to a parked car without its owner present, he leaves a note giving his name, his telephone number, and the name of the insurance company. You leave it there. If the owner is present, the courteous driver exchanges insurance information politely and contact the proper authorities right away without incident. That is what we are talking about. If the owner is there, put your number, put your insurance, put everything. The person will contact you. You are not being smart. If